Can you define chivalry?
Chivalry is being honorable and passionate and caring for others and stating by your beliefs no matter what.
Chivalry, I'll say, is to show respect. 90% of the time, stereotypes say it's towards a female, but I'm gonna say,
I can't define chivalry, but what it means to me is old-fashioned rules that men would follow to be a partner to women.
Chivalry is more along the lines of being that knight in shining armor and finding people and treating them right. And then manners is just something you're supposed to have every day.
Manners are just everyone getting along in society. Chivalry is you actively doing something for someone else. It's a step above manners, I would say.
Is chivalry dead?
Chivalry's dying.
I mean, I still hold open the door for people.
Why do men court women, but women don't court men?
Oh, that's a good question, mate. In theory, women are supposed to be the prize.
Would you consider chivalry to be a female privilege?
I do.
Why?
Well, we can't ask for it, because if we do, we're the bad guys.
If chivalry is just about being polite, wouldn't it be polite for women to do all those same things for men?
I couldn't agree more.
If chivalry is just about being polite, wouldn't it be polite for women to do all those same things for men?
Yeah. But as a society, we've decided it's the other way around.
Is it possible for chivalry and equality to coexist?
Yes and no.
Well, wouldn't that be a contradiction?
100%.
That doesn't really make any sense, to be honest.
Right.
If you're fighting for equality and then you, again, push an ideal that isn't equal, then that contradicts each other, both of those ideas. So.
Why are men still expected to pay on the first date as the standard?
Well, that's just the nice thing to do. It's just courteous because oftentimes the men will invite the women out first. So if you invite them somewhere, you should pay first.
How often do you see women asking men out on dates?
I would say nowadays it's not very common.
So then wouldn't that by default make the man typically the one who has to pay?
Yes. Of course, if the woman asks first, then you invited them and you should pay. But it's more common for women to ask now.
I really feel like it depends who's the pursuer and who is the one being pursued.
Well, aren't women typically the ones being pursued?
Typically, yes.
So then wouldn't that mean that the act of chivalry usually falls upon men?
Yes, absolutely.
So then would you consider chivalry to be a female privilege since women are typically the ones receiving that special treatment?
Well, I feel like women have been treated unfairly and poorly for so long that once you find something that's against the grain, as far as I guess you would say,
I do believe there's a certain type of etiquette where men are actually willing to keep it, but yet women are not in the same instance.
So how is chivalry not just a one-way servitude to women?
It seems it's come that way, hasn't it?
How does chivalry work in a lesbian relationship?
I feel like it's its own thing. It doesn't follow straight rules.
Chivalry works in a lesbian relationship like for somebody who decides to be the man in the relationship. So they will show their respect towards others because men are supposed to show respect towards the female. So in lesbian relationships, the one who wears the pants in the relationship as a man will show chivalry.
So would you consider chivalry to be a female privilege?
No, actually. I think females can show chivalry to men.
Can you give me an example of how women will show chivalry to men?
Well, I would say holding the door for someone. I've held the door for my boyfriend many of times. Putting on their shoes, tying their shoes for them. I do the same thing, so.
Would you consider chivalry to be a female privilege?
No, because it's not something that we necessarily want. It's something that is kind of cool to see and we appreciate it, but I don't need it. You don't need to open a door for me. I'll be okay.
I consider that females were born into a world where they were expected to be treated like that, and they were grown and raised to expect that, but nowadays it's changed, and women have more power, they have more control over their own lives and choices, so of course it's going to change.
How did chivalry go from being about medieval battle etiquette to serving women through courtship?
I don't know.
Dude, that is a good question.
That is
I
an
honestly have no
amazing
idea why that
question.
would have. Do you have an answer or?
Medieval battle etiquette was a display for, like, it partially you would undertake battle for a woman's hand, and that's how it kind of devolved into being for women.
What is a simp?
A simp is someone that gives all they can to somebody else without expecting anything in return other than their attention.
A simp is, I guess, a boy who is just head over heels. Yeah, genuine and head over heels for a girl.
A simp is a new term for someone who essentially gives everything he has to a woman that doesn't technically deserve it.
Who is the bigger simp? A male feminist or a chivalrous white knight who believes all women are sacred?
Yikes. Probably the chivalrous white knight thinks all women are sacred.
Aren't they both trying to get in a woman's pants?
Yes, but one's more sinister about it.
I'd say the white knight. Yeah. Women are sacred.
Aren't they both trying to get in a woman's pants?
Probably, but one can't perform.
If men and women are equal, why do men always have to step up to women instead of women stepping off their pedestal to meet a man on equal terms?
Women aren't on a pedestal, though. I would say men are on the pedestal in society, and women have to, instead of like lowering themselves to men, they will like kind of like step up as the man if the man won't do what they're supposed to do and act on that.
If chivalry did not exist, how would women define a gentleman or a real man?
It wouldn't exist in their minds if there was no chivalry.
Is chivalry a characteristic of a bad boy or a nice guy?
It's a characteristic of a nice guy.
So why are women so attracted to bad boys if they aren't chivalrous?
Because they want what's not good for them.
I think deep down somewhere, women, or some women, want to be protected, so they want to see some savagery, even though they tend to. I think the choice is wrong, but I think that's what they're seeing. They're seeing someone who seems like they might be able to fight a bear.
My lady, I will save you, fair maiden. The age of chivalry is here.
If chivalry did not exist, how would it be possible for women to define a real man?
Chivalry is one definition you could make of a real man, but I believe there are other definitions that could apply as well.
Well, I think there's a lot of factors that make up a gentleman, not just chivalry.
If chivalry did not exist, how would women define a gentleman or a real man?
Oh, that's tough. I'm not a woman, I don't know that answer, but I will say maybe based off of how he can provide.
What are your thoughts on the following list of expressions? Ladies first, ladies night, happy wife, happy life, never keep a lady waiting, placing women on a pedestal, and it's a woman's prerogative to change her mind.
I think that's just respect.
Aren't those all products of chivalry?
I guess so.
They're not products of chivalry. They're products of delusion. Products of things that don't matter. Imagine if a man asked for those. We'd be evil. We'd be ostracized instantly.
So why are we talking about male privilege when society has always been chivalrous to women?
Somewhere along the line, someone thought it was a great idea to make us evil, and we're not.
Why do some women find chivalry patronizing when other women expect it?
I feel like we have very different ideas of what femininity should be, and some find femininity as like the society definition as kind of patronizing, so they find chivalry patronizing, whereas chivalry can be something that's respectful and fun and makes you feel like good about yourself.
Women like chivalry, but not guys who are too nice. How can a man give a woman the attention she wants while still remaining a challenge?
Oh, I believe that's a great question, and I could sell a lot of videos if I knew the answer.
That's actually a psychology thing. I would say it's women like the chase. So it's like if you fully give yourself to a woman, it's not going to be as attractive as if you like kind of show a little bit disinterest.
Does a man's behavior change after a woman finally gives him sex?
Yes.
How?
It shows that we have something there in return for all that we do.
So isn't chivalry all about getting laid?
Pretty much.
I mean, doesn't he become less of a player and become more genuine?
Yes and no. Sometimes once they get what they want, if that is what they want, then they'll just often leave.
After sex? Well, it depends if you are in love, I guess, or if you actually like that person.
Why is chivalry more about a code of conduct for men but not women?
Because for generations we have been told that we are the ones responsible to keep chivalry alive.
Forcing someone to be chivalrous in your definition is not cool, but if someone wants to be chivalrous, then go for it. Like, be great, you know?
Any good idea can be taken too far and distorted to a point where it stops being beneficial for the reasons it originally was. And perhaps some of those concepts have stretched in that direction, where they're no longer rooted in what they originally intended. They're somewhere else now.
Is chivalry dead?
Chivalry is dead in the aspect of once upon a time. Now that's considered toxic masculinity.
Are you dead?
I am dead. I'm dead inside.
Thank you.